mapped out a brainstorm of my goals, and I'm not trying to make this pretty or anything, I'm just throwing this together. And I circled a few things that were really important to me, or like things that I believe I need to keep an eye on. So these are, okay, I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself. This is the blotting paper. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I used the little like page that was part of the order, so I didn't have to like waste paper. So basically I wrote out my goals, brainstorm, fiscal, wellness, analog, house chores and projects, and social. So these are what came to mind for me, and these usually do pop up majority. And like the reason why I want to do it at the top of my head is it's got to be something that's so important to you that keeps like nudging you behind the scenes. So of course, like with many things, I have the desire to have fiscal resources so I don't feel like I'm getting barriers. I want to have my wellness, because what do you have if you don't have your wellness? You have struggles. Your analoging. Analog is really important to me because I want to live my life without getting stuck in one mode all the time. Nobody wants to be stuck in just one mode. Analog is so important to me. House chores and projects, of course, are really important to me. And of course, these will all correlate together. So like my wellness also is attributed to the organization of my home. So that's really important. And then projects are the fun part. And then socializing, I am really behind on my socialing, and it's just one of the things I need to focus on. So what I'm going to do is pick basically the most important ones, and I'm going to go ahead and commit to that in this book. I know people have the erasable pens, and I do too, but I'm not going to go that route. I really want my goal planner to be my goal planner. So the very first one, of course, is the most important, is my fiscal. And what I'm going to do is take this ruler and go ahead and draw a line up here, just because that's what I feel like doing. Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and write my number one, and it doesn't have to really be in order, but this one is fiscal. This one is going to be wellness. And this one's going to be home. Because what I think I can do is I can fit my wellness with my analog with my social, because I think these three could go under one goal. These two things are a bit too large. These have to be two different goals. And on the back flip of this, I have already documented what interruptions I've been having, either normally or while I was making this list, I was being interrupted. And so I decided to go ahead and do a list of interruptions. And the biggest challenge, I believe, going forward is distraction and interruption. So we're going to keep note of that, which is why I wrote it on the back of this. And we're going to plan for those things. So let's get back to this page. So fiscal, wellness, and home. And what I want to do is write why it's important to me. So of course, if we're all being honest, to have a full financial freedom would be lovely, but that's just not exactly reality these days. I wish it was for all of us one day. But for right now, fiscal responsibilities need to be taken care of. And the reason is I will be able to have balance in my work life, balance in my savings, balance in my credits. And I think the main thing is getting rid of the reoccurring bills that go towards an overhead of debt. So I'm going to say reducing the reoccurring bills of debt, And then my reward by more resources. Okay, so this is the fiscal goal, and the reason, like, the goal is reducing reoccurring bills and debt. The reward is rewarded by having more resources and more money, less barriers. So that's what that one is. Wellness is going to be, yeah, habitual cues leading to health. And then the reward is personal, obviously health, but it would be rewarded by life force. If you have wellness, you have life force, and therefore you can take that and be creative and have fun and just have so much more to give to the world as well. And then my home goal is going to be, honestly, it's like home management, but it's gonna be more along the lines of homemaking, and I'm gonna put comfortability. I want to be able to have a home where if my friends want to come over, I'm not worried about my home being like a total disaster or a mess, disorganized. I want to feel comfortable inviting people over, and I also want to be comfortable in my own home. So homemaking and comfortability via schedule, and then rewarded by home coziness. Okay, so there we go. Those are the beginning goals, and I'm just going to go ahead and follow through with the line underneath here. Alrighty, let this dry. Maybe we'll just put the blotting paper on. Wonderful. So we have our goals moving forward. So honestly, because this is so new to me, I don't know how exactly I want to use this. So I'm trying to figure this out. So one of the first things that's really important with goal planning is writing about the accomplishments. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a few columns too. Let's do, and this is an example, so like whatever planner you're using, use it, but I'm using this for now as an example because down the road, well, the way I have my system, it's going to be working alongside my goal planner, but this is just for reference and for demoing purposes. So what I want to write on Monday, because today's Monday, is I want to talk, like I want Monday to be really big about my goal oriented, right? So on Mondays, I really want to make sure that when I go to my planner, I'm going to be drafting out like what I'm doing like for my goals for the week, scheduling it, planning it and all that. But for now, I want to write just what I've accomplished. And so what I want to do for fiscal, wellness, and home. So today I've already accomplished printing off my schedule. I started the dishes / kitchen, and I've already started laundry. Okay, these are the things that I've already accomplished, and I'm going to be keeping a planner of those things that I've accomplished already. Otherwise, of course, I could go in here and go ahead and write, okay, what did I accomplish? So this is exactly what you could do, is the things you want to accomplish and the things you actually got done, you can actually track it here, which would be a great idea. But for right now, I'm not quite sure if that's what I want to do. So I'm going to just, like I said, demo this page out here. Fiscal responsibility today, I haven't done anything yet. In wellness, I have done a few things. I've already started brainstorming out my goal planning. So I am going to put that into my wellness. Awesome. Okay, so I'm so proud that I've already started this, and the reality of this is every week when I go to restart, I look over everything I accomplished and like be very proud of myself. I want to give myself these moments of like, good job, you're giving yourself credit. And then I'm taking time to do a weekly overview, and I'm writing out like yesterday's wins, right? We're probably going to go ahead and use this page. I want to leave maybe 2 boxes per goal. That way if I need to like add anything, I can do a third one. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and start with fiscal down here. Mainly because honestly, I think fiscal, these 2 boxes would be plenty for fiscal. Wellness is a big overarching item, so I'm going to put wellness up here. That way if I need more room, I can continue it. And then house projects, I am going to put over here. Okay, so with my wellness, let's refer back to the front page. What did I want with that? Habitual cues leading to health. So the important things in my wellness is sleep, vitamins, right? I'm just going to start brainstorming all of this. I need to have energy. I need to be mentally. So I'll put mental stat for mental status. We're going to put, what is that? Oh, vitamin/medications. We're going to put spiritual ideas. Okay, we're just going to start with that much, and then we're going to go to house, and we're going to do, I definitely need to have a schedule, so I have my cleaning schedule. And then I need to do, make sure my wellness is in. I need to make sure I'm pacing myself. Another thing is like asking for help, so requesting help when I need it. And then this correlates with wellness and fiscal. But then I want to focus on like my office space. I want to focus on the dining area. So those 2 are pretty much my projects right now. So I'm going to keep that in there. Then we're going to go to fiscal responsibilities. I have to have a regular work routine. I need to have, I have to have a day where I'm going to focus on my fiscal responsibilities, and I was doing that like once a month, and that's not enough. So I'm going to make sure I carve out time for my fiscal goals. And then I need to do a budget plan, debt status. I need to do a payoff plan. And I need to do credit status, which is actually your savings. I don't want to put interruptions, but that's what it is, like social spending, occasions. So what I mean about social spending occasions is like, okay, it's Christmas or somebody's birthday or we're going out for lunch. I have to make sure I'm documenting those. Okay, that's where we're starting off. And again, I'm going to use the blotting paper to move on. So I want to kind of work a little backwards, but this would be like my wellness. This would be for my fiscal responsibility, and then this one would be for my home projects. And what I want to do is write, like, track when it is I'm working on it and maybe document down below like what I did. But I'm also going to be doing this mainly in the dailies. So this will just be something like I can come back and put a star of like, okay, well, I worked on fiscals on Monday, so I can write the date of Monday. I worked on my wellness on the 6th. I worked on, you know, whatever it is, the task at hand. I'm going to be tracking it that way. But for now, because that's such a tedious work, I'm going to go all the way to my weekly overview. Okay, so I've already drawn out the things that I did today, which is really great. I'm going to make sure I write this out. And I don't know why, but for some reason I want to use blue. Okay, so my focus this week is goal orientation. That's going to be my focus. I want to keep the focus of the week really, really basic. So goal orientation is how am I taking my goals along with me throughout my schedule of the week, okay? So Monday I'm off. So I'm going to put a little dot on Monday. I'm off on Thursday, put a little dot on Thursday, and I'm off Saturday, and I'm off Sunday usually. So I'm just doing little dots so I know which days those are. That way I know that there's going to be time these days to focus on these goals. So what I would like to do, I want to do like an ideal list. The ideals that I want and the things that I actually accomplished. So take a deep breath for a second. Okay, I had to take a break and fold some laundry. So I'm going to be working in tandem with my planner. So let's see. We want to make sure we can do some of this stuff so I don't get off work until probably 3:30, no, 5:30 tomorrow. 5:30 tomorrow, and then a dinner. There's a dinner tomorrow night. So I probably won't be able to do much on Tuesday for my goals. So we'll see what happens. And then, let's see, Wednesday, I should be off work at 2 o'clock. And I can get some goal work done. Thursday, I'm off until I have a 3:30 video conference. Okay. Friday, I work pretty late this day, so I'm going to put 6 p.m. Then I have a cleaning schedule I want to follow. And then I have my daily tasks. So what I want to do is put my daily cleaning. Okay, I want to put my daily cleaning here. That way I can check it off, okay, if I got it done. Today I'm going to orient myself to doing, we're going to do Start Goal Planner. I thought that was my blue one. and fiscal overview. And then what else do we have? And I don't have anything for wellness on today's agenda, so maybe I should incorporate some kind of wellness. There it is. Okay. Sleep, vitamins, meds, energy, mental status, spiritual ideas. So what I want to get done today will be also my desk swapping. I think that's pretty much the important parts. Maybe I should take some time for myself. So let's start with this and then I'll add to it as we go. Daily cleaning, I have done that one. So I'll put a star on Monday. And then we're going to do vitamins and meds. I put a star for that one. That's good. I don't like this to be too crowded because I'm writing pretty big when I'm just throwing things together. Once I'm done with my fiscal overview, I'm going to go ahead and write out what else I want to get done and then come over here and finish the dashboard here. So I'm going to use my blotting page for now to get into this. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my fiscal responsibilities real quick and then we'll come right back. Okay, that took me a minute to figure out, but got it done. So I can put that in my... Okay, so priorities. I guess I should put it here because I can actually check this off. So March, bill overdue overview. We got this done. And I'm going to put notes over here. So with this one, I organized the bill and budget for week 2 of March. Write a check to the dentist. Awesome. Okay, so I got the fiscal overview done, started my goal planner, and I need to do a desk swap. Then I did my daily clean and vitamin meds. So now what I have to do is jump into my actual planner. So I'll put my blotting page here. And I'm really pleased with these. So I want to take my erasable pencil crown and we're just gonna highlight that I've done these 2 things. So tomorrow I'm not going to be able to, I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs barking. Tomorrow I'm not going to be able to do much because I'll be working until 5:30 and I work at 8 in the morning and then I'm going to a dinner. So I don't have a lot of time to do any goal orientation here, so I'll give myself grace. And then on Wednesday we'll come back and dabble in my goal planner again. And what I'll do is Wednesday when I come back here and plan to be in here, I will go ahead and add the stars to my daily clean reference tracker and my vitamin meds. So after that, I want to continue adding to this and seeing how it goes. But the one thing I do want to say before I go is I need to figure out also how to bring my wellness into this book because there's a huge part of my wellness that I have to keep track in here and I need a spot for that. So I might actually use maybe this bottom half. We'll see how it goes. But so far I did my March bill overview and I'm feeling a lot better fiscally for the month of March to get to my goal planning. So what I can do, I wonder if I can give myself a little credit, is by tracking it. And this has a lot of room in case I need to add more to it. I'm going to put the month of March here. And I'm going to do, today's the 9th, so I'm going to go ahead and put a star in 9, and I'm going to write fiscal tracker. When was I in here doing my fiscal tracking and working towards that goal was the 9th of March. So I want to give myself credit here. And then if I need to add more months into this, I can do that, or I can just change it up and say like the activities I did for March. So we'll see how that goes, but so far this is going to keep me on track pretty well for what I'm working towards as far as my goals. And I think the best thing is there's still plenty of room to grow here, and I'm going to probably add more goals as I go along, because this space seems pretty much like, okay, once I get these 3 things like in a routine, I'll be able to add more habits and goals into this, and we'll continue that down the road. But I will say, because I do have like this overview here, I'm going to wait to use this. As soon as I jump back in here, I will press the record button and let you know how I'm going to be using my dailies. But for now, I just want to reference the weekly dashboard, so I'll open that page and we'll get back into that in a moment. So getting back into my planner, I want to make sure I have some notes coming up, because there are some things I have to think about going forward. And tomorrow I will be training You Grow With Me, so I want to probably write this down. And I also need to call my client and remind him about the time change. And I'm also going to do what's in my goal journal for my home. I'm going to swap my desk out with the computer. It's like a computer stand, I guess. So I'm going to get those things done, and then I'll come back to film some more with you.